Just love the facial expressions of number 6, Ramirez, for Cuba. So emotional. Wears everything on her sleeve.
Both teams have something to gain, but only one. The United States has everything to lose. The United States must win to advance to the quarterfinals. If the United States loses this match, they are finished in Athens. Meanwhile, the Cubans can improve their position. Right now, they are sitting 3rd. If they win, they can move up to 2nd. That is seedings. That makes your opponent a lesser opponent as you move to the quarterfinals. So a little bit for Cuba to gain, but for the Americans, all the chips are in the middle of the table.
They have basically all or nothing. They must win this game. If they don't, they're out of the tournament. If they do, they're in. It's as simple as that. But no great prize for winning as well. They got to face number 1 Brazil if they win this.
Heather Bound to serve for the Americans. And a service error. The Americans can ill afford any mistakes tonight, mental or physical. Cuba is outstanding. And although the Americans came in as the top-ranked team in the world, Cuba was number 5, and those rankings can be a bit misleading moving into the Olympic Games. The teams are not put together till the last minute.
Cuba in the net, point for the Americans.
And actually, it's the Cubans who've made 3 or 4 mental errors early here in game 1. Whistles raining down from the upper deck. Ruiz off the block, and that will carry long.
Explosive player number 1, just ripping it off the American block.
Logan Tom off the block and out. You hear us use the phrase tooling the defense off the block. That's where an outside hitter intentionally goes off the hands and out of bounds for the point. Logan Tom has probably done that a couple of 100,000 times in her life, which began in Salt Lake City.
Last match against Russia, she really did a good job of mixing up her power and her shots. Had her most effective hitting match of the tournament.
And she just paints the corner with an ace. Logan Tom has been the quiet leader of this team for the last 10 days. Tonight, they have to have her. Logan Tom to serve for the United States, leading 16-15 in the first in a match they have to win, or they can pack their bags and get on a plane. The final day of pool play in the women's tournament. Cuba is already through to the quarterfinals. They can improve their standing and go as a number 2 seed. Top 4 in each pool of 6 advance. The rest go home. Luis Calderon and the Cubans have won 3 straight Olympic gold medals. Ramirez on the far side.
Such an active right arm, hitting on that right side.
Obviously doesn't get a lot of attacks because she's a setter in this 6-2 offense. I'll have Mike Dodd break it down for you as we move along. Logan Tom out of the back row, and Mike, we've been saying it all tournament long, why did they not go more to Logan Tom?
Well, this play is just run to perfection, and Logan Tom again out of the middle, so effective.
Tip at the net, a joust, somebody is into it.
Cuba.
It's the Cubans again.
Cubans really starting to break down with their ball control here. Midsection of game 1. There's a great young outside hitter for the Cubans. Ortiz, number 8. Didn't even play in the first match against Germany, was on the bench and has come on to become one of the mainstays opposite Ruiz as the big outside hitter for the Cubans.
And another service error for the Cubans. So the Cubans have been dancing their way through pool play, enjoying themselves, and are really playing with just a bit of pressure tonight, a chance to improve their seeding. But the Americans are playing a bit more loosely right now. 2017, the U.S. Toshi Yoshida, his 4th year as the U.S. national head coach, but he was also there as an assistant in Sydney when this group finished 4th. And Mike, when they left Australia, even though they were out of the medals, they had to feel very good about the future of women's volleyball in the United States.
Well, I think after Sydney, throughout the last 4 years and coming into this tournament, they felt like they had the physical capabilities to compete with anyone, the technical capabilities. And so far, it just hasn't panned out for the U.S. A total team effort just hasn't materialized.
Oh, the United States is starting to put it together, leading 20-17. They are on a 10-4 run. In the middle and covered by the United States. Barros was turned back. Once again, the United States block is there, and Ortiz gets nothing.
But the U.S. is in the net, and they're not going to like that call. You see Taiba Hanif just turn around. And the refs a stare. Big break for the Cubans. They were down and out in this game 1, and now a little bit of life.
They go right back to Hanif. And a great dig by Carrillo. Ruiz hanging in the air, and Sakura going flat out. They are living on Ruiz.
And when they need it, they go to that number 1 right there. Yumika Ruiz, 2-time gold medalist. Kind of like the mother hen with her little chicks around her on the court. She's their leader. She's been there the longest, and she shows them how to get it done in crunch time.
She's only 26 years of age, her 3rd Olympics, and as you just mentioned, Mike, 2 gold medals. She doesn't know how to leave the Olympic Games early.
And it's funny, she's hitting against players 6'3", 6'4". She's only 5'8". Her coach called her on, says she has an amazing training regime, which has kept up her vertical leap, and it's been paying off in these Olympics. She's had an outstanding tournament.
She must think the Olympic Games don't end until she hears her national anthem. 2 for 2 for her so far, and Cuba has a program 3 straight. Yet coming in, just mild favorites. Why? Because they only returned 4 players from Sydney. This group is stripped down and rebuilt, and once again, they are purring. Hanif, late to get to that one. Ruiz demanding the ball and paying off each time.
And there's the emotion, the flair that the Cubans bring to the court. So explosive. They just seem to be playing, enjoying the game a lot more right now than the Americans.
5 kills for Ruiz, tied at 20. And a great dig by Ortiz. The United States, if anything is working well for the United States, Mike, it's their net play. They're blocking, they're jumping on the overpasses.
That time, Taiba Hanif very aggressive on the defensive overpass. Big kill for the Americans.
There's Kiba Phipps. And Kiba Phipps with the ace. Let's just call her mid-30s. She was on the national team in 1986 as a 17-year-old. Ended up leaving the country and going to Italy for 13 years. Didn't want to come back, turned down numerous requests, numerous invitations. And finally, one of her teammates talked her into it. She digs in the back row. Logan Tom. Again. Point for the Cubans.
Great scrambling defensive plays by the Cuban defense. Fans are loving it up there in the rafters. It's just a great hit with a
great serve. It's going to be an ace.
Barros, number 18, loves that. The best jump server, most effective jump server for the Cuban team.
That was over 60 miles an hour.
They score a lot of points when she's serving in this rotation. Americans have to bear down right now and pass this serve.
Play to 25, got to win by 2. Point U.S. And there is Mubarak Hanif, Taiba's dad. He celebrates for about 3 seconds at a time and then goes back to that very worried look.
These games are Tougher on the parents and the players, no doubt about it.
Taiva Hanif and her father from Southern California. And so is Heather Bound, who serves that one. They grew up about 12 miles from each other. Ruiz. Hanif. And the U.S. has a game point.
Hanif doing a real good job on that right side. 2 transition plays in a row, scoring points for the United States. Heather Bound here had a very quiet game against the Russians. She's coming out here putting a lot of pressure on the Cubans with her jump serve. She was in Sydney, said she got lucky making that team, but her goal all along has been to get here in Athens. An overpass and a point. Logan Tom jumps on it, and the United States, in a match they must win to survive, comes back to win the Open.